post-match by Neil Atkinson that Stu Wright will be here and the big man will be giving a massive, massive hug when he arrives. I've got Rob Gutmann here as well. This is post-match pint. We're in the Glenbuck. It's chaotic. It's noisy. It's chaos outside at Anfield. It was chaos in the ground at Anfield. Liverpool won by 5 goals to 1 to win the 20th league title. And for the first time, Rob, we got to acclaim them. We got to say they were champions because they are champions. In the 73rd minute when we did it, I realised it was something I'd never done before. Something I'd never been able to enjoy before. To acclaim them, to adore them, and to thank them for what they've done. And singing champions, that is, in the 73rd minute, is one of the best moments of my life.
Well, in my young life, I have done it before, but it felt like a fever dream that never actually happened. I cried on 73. I cried 8 minutes after. Just there was moment after moment. That's so good. Moment after moment where I just said, stop fucking crying, Rob. You big fucking baby. But you never know where your next champions is coming from. And as I'm melting here in the Anfield sun, in the hottest place on God's earth tonight, I don't know. It's just got to seep in. But it was as though it was beyond scripted, wasn't it? You dream of how it'll be. I'm always fearful of not fearful, but I've lived through enough anticlimaxes. I saw Liverpool become champions, losing 2-0 at White Hart Lane to claim the league title in 1983, and it was all a bit, well, at least we got that over the fucking line. But this was a bit special, It was a display, as Shankly said, of red power. It was just a display of tribal unity. Power seems too macho. I don't know what it was, but when I thought it was all perfect in the ground, and then when I stumbled down the stairs, blinking into the daylight outside, everyone was silhouetted against that bright sun. You cannot stress how bright the sun is over Anfield tonight. It just seemed more perfect than ever. It was like a Roman army. And I know those metaphors have been said before, but Jesus.
The manager said at the end, when he brought the coach in, he said, there's no fucking way we're losing today.
Yeah.
And he was 100% right. Even when they scored, there was an immediate roar back of Liverpudlian cheer. Absolutely not. We've all made our life plans around this, lads. You are going to do it. But they believed completely. And it's dead interesting to me, having watched them in the last few weeks, because I think they have been nervous. I think they've felt the weight of it, the pressure of it a little bit. And today, as soon as it goes 2-1, I'd say, before not even 3-1, as soon as it goes 2-1, I thought you just saw it all fall off them. And they were so assured. McAllister pings that home, and everyone knows it's done and dusted, and what a goal it is.
Yeah, in a weird, I thought we were at it from the word go. Tottenham did us a small service by taking the lead. I was saying to my lads beforehand, do you know what? I've been on these title party days a number of times. We very often go behind. But when McAllister's goal went in, I said, hey, Stu Wright. Oh, well, that's me taking out my stride. Well,
what about the championship? What
about the championship?
You were a mess this morning. You were a mess. You're not a mess now. I was about to say you're 10 foot tall. You're normally 10 foot tall. You're fucking 20 foot tall because you've watched Liverpool win the league for the first time in person. How are you feeling?
Mate, I have been on the verge all day. You saw me this morning. I was a mess. I walked out.
Barely human.
I got to the stadium about 1:30 today. Walked around on my own for a little bit before I met people in the pub. And just had a little bit of time. Went to see my dad's stone and all that. And I was struggling. And then, when it all goes off in the stadium and You'll Never Walk Alone came on that level where everyone was together, that sent me well over the edge. I cried like I haven't cried in years. It was the end of like what felt like a lifetime of dreams all culminating. And there was a little bit of a sense. I had a worry this week that God, because we've dominated this league. Was it almost going to be a bit of an anticlimax? Had I built this in my head up far too much? And I had not. It was everything I dreamt of and more. It's not often that words fail me, but they may well fail me today.
They failed you the first thing this morning for one reason, and they're failing you now for a much better reason as to the way in which words can fail you. Rob, McAllister scores. Whichever, just fucking fill your boots, mate.
I said to you, I was about to say till Stu, Love beautifully interrupted us. I turned to my lads when that goal went in, and I went, I lost it then. I went, we've won the league. We won the fucking league. And I thought, this is the most important goal in our history as far as I'm concerned. You know, hyperbole is the order of the day here. But when that goal went in, and it was such a goal. Everything happened in 5 minutes, didn't it? They scored. I'd been warning before the game. I goes, there will be a sting in the tail. This won't be easy. There's hubris everywhere. It's like a fucking spectre all around us. And they scored. And I went, told you, fuckers. It's all your fault.
I bet you were.
I was fuming. And then Luis Diaz scored. And I scored. And then they made us wait. The drama. Netflix, Hollywood, no one could script it better. And McAllister's goal is the most important goal in our history. Because that's the moment we won the league. And do you know why I know it? Because I went on my betting app. And Spurs were 33-1 to win. And I fucking lumped on. Just in the very, very small chance.
Of course he did.
The fucking money this cunt's put on a 5-1. I've lost my mind with the thought of it. That is with it all, Stu. That is where we end up. That is what it all means. Which is, you know, you get into the break and you just know Phil Blundell comes up to the stairs to me and his face is just absolutely beaming. You know, he's just utterly delighted because he knows there and then. He knows, and when Gakpo scores, he takes his top off because Gakpo knows it was that moment of. You didn't know it already at 33-1 for Tottenham.
Oh, you did know it then.
But
1 by the way.
But there we are. Excellent news. You knew it when Gakpo scores, and it's a lovely little finish.
And you know what? And what they did then? They allowed us to have the party that we wanted. You know what I mean? Because
God bless them.
They dismissed. I mean, and God bless Tottenham Hotspur for the way they rolled over today. Because we absolutely took them to the cleaners. And you know, it was a consummate victory. It was the victory of champions. The goals were of champions. I agree with you. On a personal level, these were the most important goals of my lifetime.
Yeah.
This is what I have been waiting for. I've not been in the ground to see Liverpool win the title ever. You know what I mean? Might be different for yourself, but I you know,
he doesn't have a great recollection of it.
It doesn't matter. In 1990, nobody gave a fuck. There wasn't scenes like this. We all just got off and went to bed. There was no peril. We just didn't think of it like that. It's not how it worked back then. We were the way City behave about it. It just didn't happen like that. I mean, I'm sure it did. 77's just before me, but yeah, it didn't work. I mean, it did in 86. It did maybe a little bit, but nah. This is different. Anyway, I can't remember. People who have better memories than me will tell me differently, but it didn't work like this.
And the way it's working, the scenes outside the ground, Stu, you know, we'll have people out there capturing them. There's been loads of people capturing them. I did something with Alan Irwin, just running out the ground. Alan rang me, I was able to do it. I was made up to do it. Kids around, flags, pyro, fireworks, so much colour, so much love, so much adoration. It almost feels like a warm-up for the parade. This place right now is absolute bedlam.
Like, I was in the Upper Annie, and what you could see from the Upper Annie, you can see over the Cop, you can see past it, you can see into the hills of Wales, but what you could see most of all when those goals went in was the absolute craziness, the bedlam that was going on outside, because there was fireworks, there was pyro. It was such a sight. I've seen some images of what the area around the ground looks like from a helicopter, and it looks, as you said, it looks like a parade. It looks like Madrid. It looks like everything that we could have ever wanted. It's just listen. Be married, had children. But those have now got to rival those days for one of the best days of my life.
The post was brilliantly done in that it had a nice combination of feeling really organic and simultaneously just a teeny little bit choreographed. There was an organic element to it, which was, you know, just the craziness of it, the reaction of players. I don't know, who did you watch at the final whistle?
Everyone, I mean,
I watched Van Dijk. I couldn't take my eyes off Van Dijk.
It was hard because, like, there were so many of them that you just wanted to give your absolute full attention, your devotion to. I was jealous that they run to the Cop, but I was made up as well. They came and did the whole lap to every portion of the ground. I was so as well. So we were talking about the manager this morning, and what a humble fella he is.
Absolutely fucking fantastic. All I can feel and breathe and smell is pyro. It's fantastic. Honestly.
It's absolutely everywhere. Absolutely brilliant. Is right, Amelia? Go on, Stu.
Yeah, we were talking this morning about how humble the manager is, and I think that was epitomised right there in that moment when he decided to sing the Jurgen Klopp song, right back to Jurgen. You know, he never wants a spotlight for himself. He looked like he couldn't get away from the microphone quick enough because he wants it to be about us and he wants it to be about the players.
But what I loved about that genuinely was there's more than enough glory to go around. There's buckets of glory. I've never known so much fucking glory. You want to name it, they've all got glory as far as I'm concerned. These are the lads who won Liverpool's 20th league title. It's Slot who's done it. But Jurgen made the foundations for it last season. Slot knows that. And that's how this club's at its best, when we work for each other, when we believe in each other, when we back each other, and when we do long-term planning, when we do long-term things as well as we can. That's when this football club's at its best, and that's what you got to see.
When this football club is together as one, anything is possible. We've shown that over the years. And supporting this club at times,
go on.
Supporting this club at times, it has its highs, it's had its lows. We've had moments of delirium, we've had moments of pain, of frustration, of despair. But they all led us to today. And I feel like today, for many of us, for all of us, I think we've reached the promised land.
It is that he's been like that, the manager. I wonder if the captain might speak as well. He doesn't. When he's been like that, the manager, I think the generosity of it, as you say, he doesn't really want to do that big talking, but I think he loved putting the shirt on. I think he loved going the cop. I think he's been waiting to say, I've earned this. Some of these lads have earned it in the past, but now we've all earned this. We've all earned that moment.
Yeah, and I think what it does now, we've spoken about the foundations from Klopp, but what this does is it draws a line under it now, because this now is well and truly Arne Slot's Liverpool.
100%.
Makes no mistake.
And then from there, it seems so early to say it, but this has been so special. There's this thing in the back of my head going, I'll have this again, please.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I could have followed it up and said it's not just Arne Slot's Liverpool. This is Arne Slot's Premier League. This is his territory now. We're the champions. He's the champion, and someone is going to have to work really, really hard to rip it from his grasp.
I was made up Salah scored. On that note, I was made up Salah scored. Gakpo tried to play him in earlier on. Late in the game, Nunez tries to play him in when he should just whack it home. But all he can think is, I think he just wants Salah to take his top off. I genuinely think all Nunez wants is Salah to take his top off. It's such a, even by Nunez's standards, a mad decisions. It's such a mad decision. But I think he thinks, you know what, these people don't give a fuck about me, but they love him. I'll give him the ball and he can kick it in the goal. And, you know, fair play to him for that. But I was so happy when Salah scored that he got his goal, got his moment. He loved being acclaimed by the Kop afterwards. Mo Salah's wanted this league title more than anyone else. And fucking hell, he's got it and he's earned it.
It was the crowning moment. You know, all I could think of once the first few goals had gone in was Mo needs to score. And I think, and you could see in Mo, he was desperate for that moment as well. We wanted it, he wanted it, and he wanted it for the same reason, so that we could celebrate together. We could adore him, and he could adore us.
That's why he does the picture.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He does the picture because it's one way, because he'll never get to come to Glenbuck. I probably wouldn't want him. But it's one way he gets a moment of saying us, all of us, and the extent to which I think he's so embedded in all of us. And that's not sort of football language, let me be clear. If we couldn't win shit, Mo Salah wouldn't play for us. He wouldn't have signed a new contract. So I'm not some sort of giddy fool. But Mo Salah knows we win together. 100%. And that's the energy he brings.
100%, but there's also a flip side to that where it's important to say that a big part of why we win things, it's not the only part of why we win things, but he is a major part. Mo Salah is a part of why we win things, because he is a world-class footballer. He's a legend at the club, and he's cemented that even more if he had to today.
I just want to ask you, who did you watch at the final whistle?
Who did I look at?
Did you watch at any player, or were you in space? Because I watched Van Dijk. I couldn't take my eyes off Van Dijk. Van Dijk is up, his arms are aloft before the final whistle goes. He's there, and the final whistle goes, and it's almost like he's dizzy. Like he spins. He just spins out. Like fucking hell. And he has a few seconds, like we'll say a few seconds or 30 seconds on his own. Because what he doesn't do, which is what I thought he would do, will be go the goalkeeper. He does go the goalkeeper after about a minute, but he's just got this, like, almost this idea, everything's just gone to his head. Like a kid who's had too much of something, and he's just like this, oh my God, arms aloft. And at that moment, honestly, I just wanted to fucking hold him and go, what have you done here?
I looked at the referee, quite frankly, Neil. I wanted it to be an empirical fact, and he was the only arbiter of that. No Virgil van Dijk. I looked at that cunt stick that whistle in his mouth, and I was at
Did you
peace.
see when Curtis Jones hit him with the ball?
No.
Yeah. Dead funny. Curtis Jones kicked the ball to his face. He hit the referee in the face with the ball, and straight away just had to go, nah, sorry lad. I went from there, fucking hell. So you just kept your eye on the referee?
I wanted it done. I mean, I maybe wanted Darwin Núñez to have another chance after his chance that wasn't a chance, but...
Well, I just said to Stu, he wanted Salah to score. He wanted Salah to get another one. It was as straightforward as that.
Julia, my mate Julio's always sat with me and won loads of... Me and him are multiple champions. He sat next to me for years. I was at Hillsborough with him. And me and him had a moment. Believe me, being in that ground with Julio, he's been abroad most of the season, but he's back. Hugging Julio made me cry. But, yeah, I've lost my thread actually here. Don't know what we did, but we had moments upon moments.
Other things that happened through the game, just dead quick, just to sort of feel like I've at least talked about the game a bit. I thought it was dead interesting how hard it was to play football calmly in the environment. There's a couple where, like Canate will do something good and then do something a bit mad, but I didn't blame him because I wouldn't want to play centre back in that. That was absolutely horrendous. I thought a couple of the defenders had those moments. You don't notice as much with attackers because when in doubt, just run at someone and go, fuck it, let's see what happens. But I just thought there was a couple in there because, again, you can see what it means. What it means is so much to so many of them. They've carried it, they've lived it, they've held it together. They've had it in 20, some of them never, some of them came later. But they've understood, they came close. Almost all of them came close in 22. And they never got it then either. You know, we feel a certain thing. Imagine them in that dressing room now.
Oh yeah, and as you were saying there, you know, that environment to play in, the pressure, the exuberance to play in that, it's easy to lose your head. And I felt it was so important that we scored early today. And once they scored, it became vital. If we were going to do what we needed to do and do it with the style that we're capable of, it was important that we struck back straight away, and we did. And I felt that lifted all the pressure, especially when the second one went in as well. That then allowed Liverpool to play and really, really enjoy themselves without fear, without pressure, just play.
All right, this has been the first post-match pint. There will be a second one for subscribers, hosted by Neil Dockin. I'm going to go and host a post-match audio show. I call them the Pink, other people try to talk me out of it. I'm going to be doing one of them over there in a little while as well. More people to come and do that and be part of it. John will be doing a diary. If you subscribe, you'll be able to hear that as well. Anything that you need on the Anfield Wrap tomorrow, we'll do the free show early in the studio, and then we sojourn to the slaughterhouse to do show after show after show, and also for me to recover from Sunday night. The city is there. Can I tell you the story?
Go on.
In 1964,
yeah.
In 1964, Liverpool win the league. They beat a team from North London by 5-1, and that day confirms that Liverpool are champions. And whenever anyone said to me, what day in Liverpool history would you like to relive? What day in Liverpool history do you wish you could just do? Either relive or live for the first time. And my answer has always been when Liverpool win the league under Shankly in 1964 after they beat a team at Anfield by 5-1. The reason why is, imagine the city, imagine those men and women, imagine them after they've sang the top 10 and the top 20, imagine the night out, imagine how it all goes, and today I get to live that. That's post-match pints. Up the fucking Reds.
Yeah!